Liam, you took the lead early on here, it started so well, and then Kings Lynn gradually got back into the game. They equalised, they've got the goal when the game's probably ebbing and flowing from one end to the other, and then it's a game that they've managed to sort of probably see through and see it out, and you'll be disappointed to end up having not taken something from the game.
I think right at the start I'll say I think Kings Lynn were the better team on the day. We never capitalised. We got the early goal, which is great. We had another 20 minutes where we looked like we were going to score a few times. Ryan's had a free header from the set piece. Jack should score at the far post. And then, to be fair to Kings Lynn, they've got into the game. They started dominating possession. It's obviously the way they play. And they looked like they were going to get a goal. You know, there was Marriott had no right to score where he did. You know, he's got to turn around and applaud and go, unbelievable goal. And then I'd probably say the day turned on the last minute where someone's had it's come out from a set play, someone's had a shot, it's took a ricochet off Rowell. 9 times out of 10, the keeper's wrong-footed, goes in, it's gone straight to the keeper's hands. And then the first minute, the second half, from a throw or a cross or whatever it was, and their centre-half's got a bullet header back in. It would have been an own goal on a normal day. It's ricocheted straight into the keeper's chest. And you're thinking, you need that bit of luck. Jack's missed the sitter, Zen's hit the post, but they've had chances, you know, on the break, and it was predominantly on the break. They scored a goal. They'll think it's a great goal from their point of view. I think it's an extremely poor. Russ has lost his man. He's ran off him, and then the gap between Dean and Zen's too big, and he's got in, finished it well again. But you know, really disappointing to concede. I just think probably on the balance of play, I'd say I know for a fact this is the youngest squad I've ever had at Southport, and in the bigger games sometimes it shows up. Were they a bit more streetwise possibly? Did they manage to referee better than us? Definitely. But little things like that, but I can't do any in terms of we're just going to try and bring players through, which we believe, younger ones. If you turn around, you look at Connor. Connor's done some great stuff when he come on, but he also done a bit of naive stuff when crosses could go in the box and he didn't come in the box. Then you lose the ball and then they break on us. But he'll learn, and the only way he'll learn is by playing. I thought Charlie Oliver showed up well. He used the ball extremely well, which obviously his background, his pedigree at Man City, he was always going to be out of that. So that's another bonus. I said you can see the lads are down, which is a bonus because he shows they care. And we've just got to see I think we got 28 points from 18 games. So we're 1 win off the target where we really expected to be. 30 points. If you get every 3 games you pick up 5 points, you're in the playoffs, and that's where we are. So we're 2 points off where we are after 18 games. So we've got to make up a couple of points in the next 3 games and see where we are on the halfway mark. 2 opposition in the last 2 games, Spennymoor and Kings Lynn, both upwardly mobile sides, doing very well at the moment. The margins have been thin, and perhaps just the difference between them has been the clinical finishing from Glenn Taylor and Adam Marriott. Your thoughts on that, really? I think you're right. I think we know in the past whether you've had a Terry Ferns, Neil Robinson, Steve Daly, Tony Gray, Kieran, all. It's a totally different game when you've got someone in that side who 9 times out of 10 will score every afternoon. At this moment in time, we haven't got that. But I never had that when I was at Telford, so I still managed to win a league because you got 6 all getting double figures, which was not stopping players here. The wide players, Devan's got a few now, hasn't he? Need more from Brad, need more from Jack, need more from Rowell. Obviously Connor needs more starts to actually gauge him. But David Morgan's got more than you'd have ever dreamt he should have been. So there's pluses and minuses, but I'm not going to sit here and feel you're down because you've lost and you should be down. So I'm not going to. The players work great, the attitude and all that. That's fine. I just think what I said. Didn't think Spennymoor were better than us. I thought there was one bit of magic from Taylor which won the game. But I will say to that, I think Kings Lynn were a better footballing team than us. And as you rightly point out, John, I said, that's Marriott's 19th goal of the season. Ral's got 3 or 4, Jack's got 1 in the league. And it's not all about the forwards, but to actually say that's the difference in tight games.
In terms of the move in the transfer market, Charlie Oliver came in. Is that really about adding depth? And have you seen something in particular about him? And what type of player do you see in him? What can he bring to the club?
Well, he needs to find a home. He needs to actually, look where his career is, and I think he's got a good choice coming here. He's got to now do it on the pitch to try and climb back up the levels. If you're saying Andy Parry's obviously he's having knee surgery, his scans don't look very positive, so Andy's got a decision to make over his career in the next week or so. But where Andy can play in numerous positions for us, so can Charlie.
And in terms of sort of transfer speculation, 7 days notice in on somebody, are you still looking for additions to your squad?
Yeah, we're always looking. We're always looking to improve. And as you go along, I said, some you'll get, some you won't. We've got to get to the stage where, everyone's desperate to come to Southport as a football club. That always used to be the case. At the moment, it's a little bit more difficult. I said probably because there's been that many ups and downs, chops and change over the last few years. I said, but that'll improve as we continue to improve as a team, and continue to see one or two flourish, and maybe one or two get moved up to higher levels, and that's the best way to progress the football club.
Next week it's the turn of the FA Trophy, and we play Colne. Your thoughts on what the competition can do for the club, and in terms of where we're at currently in our journey of the season?
It can change your life in the fact that it'll give you a memory which you'd never ever forget as long as you live, in the fact of going to Wembley. It can also be cruel. I've had a couple of horrible days in the FA Trophy. I think I've lost 4 times in the quarter-finals, and it's I think the last one here was against Telford in the replay, and they were down to 10 men, and I'd say that was one of the worst nights I've ever had in football. But it does give you that opportunity to actually think, we're only 4 games away from Wembley, but we also know it's a very difficult competition to get to the end of, and that'll be no different on Saturday when we go to Colne. It'll be a tough place, it'll be a proper cup tie, and as I said, we've got to be right. I'll make sure we're right in terms of mentality, in terms of what we're about. I said, and if that's the case, it gives us the opportunity to actually go in and win the game.
Thank you very much, Lynn.